Hello, my name is Brian Ross, and I would like to welcome you back to our 13th episode of Understanding That Your Kid is Slightly Behind. If this is your first time, welcome. I'm your trusty neighborhood SLP, and my job is to help you understand your kid a dash better. Today's topic is on questions. Have you ever thought that your little Billy, what Mommy can do, is a little bit slower than Sally?
Passing the LING?
Asking questions is harder than you think, especially in English. It can take a kid up to 4 to 5 years of linguistic experience just to ask a proper question.
Wow.
I'll explain what this means later. Now, what is a question? A question is loosely defined as a sentence designed to acquire information. In English, the types of information we are trying to acquire is determined by the formation of something we like to call a WH operator. This can be
what, where, who, when, why, how, which, whose.
These are acquired at different periods of your child's development. Some languages move WH operators to the front of the sentence. This is called WH fronting, and English does this. But in some languages, they don't, and we like to call these languages in situ languages, like Korean, Japanese, and Mandarin. So which language is the easiest for your child to ask a question in? Studies show that despite the cross-linguistic variation, kids are adaptable and will apply the correct WH movement to their respective languages pretty early on.
Wow.
In one research, they examined 2,800 plus questions in English and found that only 41 had misplaced WH operators. That is 1.4642871%.
Wow.
Billy is in the 99th percentile. Hold on, that means Billy should be able to ask proper questions. What's going on? Well, concerned parents, this is because Billy is having problems with something called SAI, or sub-auxiliary inversion. You see, when we ask questions, it actually requires 3 steps.
Wow.
First step, we need something called a baseline sentence, like Mommy is eating pizza. Then we change pizza with a WH operator, in this case, what, making Mommy is eating what. We move the what to the front of the sentence as we should in English. Then we invert the subject and the auxiliary. Auxiliaries can be many things like should, would, could, or is, be, are, or do. Now, if Billy is a typical boy speaking English, he will fail 10% of the time to invert subjects and auxiliaries correctly 100% of the time. And that the auxiliary do is a particularly difficult one. Another common SAI mistake is that kids don't like to use it, so they just drop it. Now, our Bulgarian children friends will not fail SAI ever. This is because Bulgarian has an auxiliary verb and main verbs that behave the same way. Another conundrum in the basket of reasons why kids have a hard time with questions is because of distance.
You see, when you run for a mile, you'll probably be tired.
Unless you're the Rock. In that case, you're never tired. Just like that, kids struggle with longer sentences as they often have trouble performing WH movement.
Or sometimes kids just get lazy and they'll answer embedded questions within a question. So for example,
when did she say how she ripped her dress, where how she ripped her dress is taken to be the real question. But don't worry, little Billy will get a hold of this mechanism by
3.5 years of age. Noam Chomsky theorized
that all humans possess something called universal grammar. This is a set of structural rules that guide the input of language. Sometimes we call this mental grammar. However, kids have to format this universal grammar into their own language. This takes time. A long, long time. And that's why you have to wait 4 to 5 years. With all these reasons, no wonder kids have such a hard time learning. But don't worry, all linguists know that comprehension precedes production. So be careful what you say about Billy. Just because he's not talking properly doesn't mean he doesn't understand.
Well, Brian, thanks. Now I can ask a proper question. Princess, how are you doing? Don't thank me. energy in your body. Thanks, Eugene.